Hello everyone. To continue with the series of technical crypto reviews, in the first video we already talked about Bitcoin, and to continue the series, so today I would like to introduce to all of you about Ethereum. Actually, there's a lot of group, and maybe for example Facebook group or Telegram on Discord and many group, most of group always talk about the trading of crypto and how to invest crypto. We will invest in altcoin or Bitcoin or something like that. But I think there's a lack of technical review, the deep technical of each crypto. So if we understand the technical detail of every crypto, maybe we can have more view about the crypto we will invest, and we will understand more clearly. So in this series, I will introduce from the Bitcoin until maybe around 100 or 1000 coin from now. So I hope that you can support, and please click like and subscribe for the video if you want me to continue with other coin as well. So now let's go to the technical review of the Ethereum. In this video, I wish that after this video you can understand what is the Ethereum, about the Ethereum ecosystem and the comparison between the Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe we will go to the first definition. So what is the Ethereum we always talk about? Academically, Ethereum is a decentralized platform that runs smart contract, which is the applications that run exactly as a program without any possibility of downtime, censorship, fraud, or third-party interference. So finally, we just need to understand that Ethereum is a decentralized platform, and no one can I don't say that no one can hack it, because there are sometimes a lot of a lot of problem with Ethereum previous years, but it's a decentralized platform that runs a smart contract. And we will talk about, and the father of Ethereum is Vitalik Buterin. This guy is very famous, and I think if you invest in crypto, maybe everyone knows about this guy, Vitalik Buterin. And around the Ethereum, there's a lot of things. For example, we talk about decentralized application, a digital currency, Bitcoin, MetaMask, smart contract, Ethereum virtual machine, miner, DAO, DFs, and so on. So the birth of the Ethereum, we need to go back to the 2009, where the Bitcoin first was launched, the Bitcoin mainnet launched, and until the 2012, Vitalik Buterin would found the Ethereum, and we have the white paper of Ethereum in 2013. Until 2014, the Ethereum project has been announced, and Ethereum Foundation was created by Vitalik Buterin, and the pre-sales of 60 million digital token, we call it the Ether. And next year after that, the Ethereum project launched, and until the 2016 there was a DAO attack, and at that time the Ethereum split to the Ethereum and Ethereum Classics. This is very long road of the Ethereum from the 2013, where the white paper was announced. I remember that at that time, at the 2013, a lot of people talk about they don't understand what is the Bitcoin and why we need digital currencies. And the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum at that time is pretty low, but no one cared about that. So maybe if at that time we bought a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum, now maybe we become a billion. And from 2012 until to 2021 is around maybe almost 10 years, and a lot of things has been, and the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, I mean, it's go to the moon now. The technology in the 2021 is now they mostly develop the layer 2 technology, for example the Polkadot, because storing everything in the blockchain and in the main net is not a good idea, and the fee of storing the data on the ledger and storing things, the transaction on the ledger, is pretty high. It's very expensive to use the Ethereum mainnet now. And so the solution is that we call the layer 2, which means we will option and not store everything to the ledger. There's some solution, for example Filecoin or NPFS for storage, things like that. Okay, so we can go that the Ethereum is kind of an open source software platforms based on the DLT blockchain that enable anyone to build and deploy the decentralized application. We can understand that decentralized applications are the new type of software program designed to exist on the internet in a way that is not controlled by any central entities. And an example is that we can use Ethereum for shopping, for voting system, and for payment as well, because Ethereum is also run on the proof of work blockchain. It's quite similar to the Bitcoin with some characteristics like decentralized, transparency, and immutability. So we need to remind a little bit what is the difference between the centralized and decentralized things. You can understand that, for example, in the centralized application, if you want to send money to your friend, all the transaction you need to send via a bank. Every transaction will go to the bank and to the centralized network. But with the decentralized application, now your message will go to independent computers spread all over the world, and the money, the transaction, the information of the transaction will be recorded on the distributed network. It will avoid to Singapore failure and the delay happen in the delivery time. Yes, and I think if we talk about the Ethereum, the key innovation of the Ethereum should be the smart contract. Because you know that Ethereum is powered by the Ethereum virtual machine, which allows smart contract to run on a decentralized blockchain, and the contract will be self-executed only when certain conditions are met. The reason why I say smart contract is a key innovation is that because if when all the parties join to the network, and they will follow a predefined contract between partners, and they will follow the contract and every agreement, and the rules will execute automatically, even if the partner or any participant don't want to follow, but they are forced to follow the contract, predefined contract. For example, in the normal contract, you can see that we have the Harvey, a seller, and Mike, a buyer. If you might want to buy a house, so there's a lot of stuff like we need to go to the lawyer, we need to go to the agent and make a contract, transfer the ownership, and a lot of things. It's very complex to buy a house with the normal contract. For example, we call it a paper contract. But how about if the smart contract? With the smart contract, now we still have the Harvey and Mike, but it will run on the decentralized application. With the smart contract on the Ethereum and might want to buy the house, we just need to sign the contract online and via DF, decentralized application, and that's it. Actually, this is very ideal, and but in realistic, to buy a house is still have a lot of problem. But I think the key point is that the smart contract here is self-executed and is a predefined contract. It will happen autonomously and no one can force and change the contract. That is the key point and the key innovation of smart contract on Ethereum. Because you know that in the blockchain network, it's a distributed network, and each node in the network will store a copy of the ledger and the copy version of smart contract as well. So no one can change and no one can change the condition of smart contract which is already predefined. Yes, and who can use? Of course, everyone can use the Ethereum. You just need to set up a Ethereum wallet and you can start doing things. And smart contract now is apply, and I mean the Ethereum is applied in many applications. For example, transportation, in healthcare, and in banking, of course, in finance with the DeFi and a lot of aspect. For example, I mean almost every, I think in the near future every field on Ethereum will be go to any application. For example, healthcare, transportation, hospitality. From my personal experience, now I'm working on an EU project with Simon about develop blockchain application for agriculture, for healthcare, and for manufacturing. We My choice is that actually I think there's a lot of blockchain. We can use the Bitcoin, we can use Ethereum, IOTA, Hyperledger Fabric, and even if Querum. But my first thought is that I will use Ethereum because it's very easy to start with, to develop the application, and they provide kind of enough API and information to start with the Ethereum. That is why I think maybe we can start with Ethereum there, and then other blockchains they also build on based on the Ethereum. So starting with Ethereum is a good idea if you want to get in touch with blockchain and Ethereum, the smart contract. So how to get started with Ethereum? I think yeah, to smart with Ethereum is very easy. That you just need to have an Ethereum wallet. So how to get a wallet? There's I mean a lot of applications. For example, MetaMask, Mist, and Milk. The first step is that you just need to buy and sell the Ether, and then you can trade between the Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, you can trade between amount of coin. With Ethereum, you can go to, if you have some coin or some ETH, you just need to go to the Binance exchange platform or Coinbase. You can exchange the coin to any kind of digital asset, for example, Bitcoin or IOTA or Thrones, and you can buy and sell. And actually, and you can also use a smart contract to exchange with other partner, or you can have the predefined condition with the other partner which will redefine the smart contract. So to answer the question is how Ethereum work. The most thing I'm very uncomfortable with Ethereum is that it's very expensive fee to make any transactions. Okay, we go back to the terminology. Ethereum is work similar like the how the Bitcoin work. It's just kind of a difference is that, for example, here we have the developer. They create a decentralized application on Ethereum blockchain network, and now the people they need to pay the Ether to the DF, and the client want to use the application. They need to generate the transaction. For example, if they want to buy a car, or they want to buy something on the Amazon, and they need to use their wallet first, and they sign the transaction to public to the ledger. And here, similar to the Bitcoin, we also have a miner to verify the transaction. And each miner here will try verify the transaction by showing a pulser. We call it the proof of work consensus, and mining process happen here, and the miner will group the transaction together from to form a block, and then after miner compete for their block to be added to the blockchain by solving a mathematical problem. Here you can see here the block will be put to the ledger, and then finally the transaction is completed. So I think maybe you could be a little bit confusing here, so I will talk very simply. To simplify it, I would say that people have Ethereum wallet. Yes, the first one is a wallet. In the wallet, they will have their public key and private key and the Ethereum address. With the key, they can sign the transaction to make sure that the transaction is generated by themselves. It's quite similar to the handwriting letter. When you write the letter and you send to the friend, you need at the end of the letter you need a signature. So the key to sign the transaction is quite similar to the signature in the handwriting letter. And the miner will verify the transaction. The information can be the hash, or can be the information about timestamp, the everything in the transaction. And after the transaction is verified, it could be grouped in the block, and the miner will join a competence to solving a mathematical problem. That's what we call is a proof of work. Yes, actually the proof of work is to defend the double spending, and to kind of the defense to the attacks of the hacker. And after the block is I need to remind here is that after a node can verify and mine a new block, it will receive an incentive. That's what we call is coin. And similar here, after the new block is mined by a node, the node will also receive an incentive, is Ethereum here. And the currency of Ethereum network we call it Ether. Ether is the Ethereum. This is the currency which will fuse the Ethereum platforms. And the miners are the people who have secured the Ethereum network and verify all the transactions that take place in the blockchain. To join so maybe you think that how can we earn Ethereum? I think that's quite similar with the first presentation about how we can earn the Bitcoin. You can buy a device. You can just go to Amazon and type Ethereum miners, and a lot of hardware or device they sell on the market, and you can buy it and start mining. The second option is that if you have a powerful computer with GPU and CPU, you just need to go install some software and go to the nano pool or any kind of Ethereum pool mining, and from that pool you can join and use that pool to contribute a little bit part of the power from the computer. So you can try to install the software and mine the Ethereum on the computer. Of course, it's quite take time, but from my experience, for example, 1 month you can earn around maybe $100 to until to $200 per month if you have the one single computer. But of course, if you have the more computer and more device with maybe powerful server, something else, you can earn more. That is how I think we can earn Ethereum. At home. A second option is that you can use the cash, go to the platform, exchange platform, and buy the coin and Ethereum to trade and investment. That is the second option. Yeah. Yes, how Ethereums are created now. Actually, from the 2014, the pre-sale of 60 million ethers is around maybe 7.26 billion. 20% is from the development fund, 80% from the Ethereum Foundation contributions, and 5 ethers as mine fees. Of course, every 15 seconds until 17 seconds, so you can mine 5 ethers actually. To mine the Ethereum now is also, I think, it's not too difficult compared to the Bitcoin, but you still can mine and you still can earn the Ethereum from the mining process. Yeah. Yes, so you can see that some information about Ethereum. For example, until today, the Ethereum price is around over $2,000 per Ethereum ETH, and it's increased a lot. The first peak is in 2018 and around over 1,000. I remember at that time the Ethereum is around $1,400 per Ethereum, but now until now it's already over 2,000. Yeah, I think it's not a financial advice, but it will increase in the future. That's my personal experience, opinion, and you can see that it's a breakdown by supply type. The total Ethereum supply is now is 115 over million, and market cap is over 238 billion market cap, I think so. Yes, okay. As you can find all the information about the Ethereum, about the market cap and supply and price in the CoinMarketCap or Etherscan. We go to a little bit about the average, the chances and fee. Yeah, and I mentioned that actually the most thing I'm very uncomfortable with when I work with Ethereum is that the chances and fees. It's pretty expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive to use Ethereum, but we can maybe we should ask about Vitalik Buterin, but we cannot. I mean, talk about the advantages of Ethereum. It's very easy to use and you can adapt to any application. I think so. It's very easy to start with Ethereum as well, so you just need to Google how to work with Ethereum and writing the smart contract. There's a lot of tutorial and the guideline to work with Ethereum. Actually, from my point of view, when I remember when I started work with the Ethereum maybe several years ago, I still already have everything on the internet about the guideline to study the Ethereum, and we can develop the app. They provide an ecosystem to develop any application based on Ethereum, even if in the smart city, IOT, Internet of Things, or finance, banking, they use Ethereum a lot. And even if some new coin or new platform now, they also build on based on the Ethereum. Yeah. Yeah, and Ether supply growing chart. Now we can see that from 2013 until now, 2021, the Ether supply growth is maybe over 1,010 millions until now. And so who are using Ethereum? I mean, who are using Ether? The first one is that the developer who intend to build the decentralized application to run on the Ethereum blockchain, they need to use Ether to generate and do any stuff like the generate transaction or any activities. They need to Ether to build that. So if you are not a developer, the professional developer, or you want to just want to use Ethereum for the local network or for testing, I recommend that you can use the Ganache or Truffle, and you can run Ethereum. Maybe my recommendation is that we don't need to run everything on the mainnet of Ethereum. There's some reason is that the first one, we just need to test our application, so the local network is enough. And the second one is that, do we need to put everything on the mainnet publicly? No, maybe no. We don't need to do that. So we just need to build a local one. The local here means that if you have a group of companies or organization, maybe we can build each organization will be a node in the Ethereum, and we share the database together. We don't need to put everything to the mainnet to avoid the transaction fees, and it's quite expensive now. Yes, that actually in my experience, I also build local. Allow me to go code local, but it's a group of organizations. They share the same network with the Ethereum done on this, and we set up the fee is very low, and even if we want to try with another platform like Ethereum, just it's similar to it to smart to it. Ethereum is similar to the Ethereum, but they don't have any transaction fee, and they also provide some kind of advanced technique like private transaction, and there's some security aspect in the Ethereum as well. So that's my recommendation. You still can use Ethereum, but not always use a mainnet. This can be a local one. And the second group of people who want to use want to use the Ethereum and Bitcoin is that the trader and investor. People can use the Ethereum for trades. Of course, you can go to any exchange like Bitcoin blockchains or Coinbase, Huobi, or Binance, so you can trade the Ethereum. And the user who would like to access and interact with smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah, as I mentioned before, the smart contract is a key innovation of Ethereum. So I think every participant or agents, they prefer smart contract because it's transparent and it is immutable. The partner, we need to define a predefined smart contract. It means that every rule and every agreement need to predefine first, and we need to put into the smart contract. It will never change. We cannot change the smart contract after it's public to the ledger, or even if we need to create a new contract. And it will execute autonomously, and I think it's for professional career, or for the contract between the partners, they really like this point. So user can use this smart contract for many applications, even if in the Internet of Things where the device communicate with each other. It's not human, but they are not human, but we still can create the contract for the device in the Internet of Things, or even if in for vehicular network. For example, the car can be exchange information together via smart contract, or IoT device can exchange information through the smart contract autonomously. Yeah. So why do we need to use the Ethereum? Yeah, Ethereum can use for saving. Yeah, of course, if you invest in Ethereum several years ago, now maybe the balance is it's multiple times, and it's transparent, autonomously trust. The trust yes mean that the information will be recorded to the ledger, so people can track the history of the activities of the transaction, and the checkability, backup, and immutable. Yeah. So I would say Ethereum is a baseline for many applications, and mainly platform, for example, Uniswap or DAO-Stack or Kyber Network or Raiden. A lot of platform built by on Ethereum. If I don't want to say almost, because the Ethereum provide amazing and excellent baseline for every other platform. I would like to compare. We talk a lot about Ethereum and Bitcoin. From my personal experience, and many people say that the Bitcoin is the first decentralized network, this first decentralized currency. Bitcoin is the king of all the coin. So the queen would be Ethereum. And this is picture kept from the CoinMarketCap. Today's Bitcoin's price around maybe it's around $58,000, and the market cap is already over 1 billion. And about the Ethereum, the number two, second one, is around $2,000 per Ethereum, and the market cap is 239 million. Oh no, sorry. The market cap Bitcoin is trillion, and the market cap of Ethereum is billion. Yeah, is. And okay, so Ethereum, I will compare a little bit about Ethereum. It was released in 2015 by Vitalik Buterin, and it's a decentralized app. There's some point we need to remember here is that maybe it was 2014. The year is not exactly, but I would say we need to remember that Ethereum was released by Vitalik Buterin, and it is a decentralized programmable platform which supports decentralized application, running smart contract and using the digital tokens. It's the Ethers. And Ethereum enable peer-to-peer transaction and can handle account transaction as well, and execute newly code program logic. And compared to the Bitcoin is the first decentralized cryptocurrency created in 2009 by the unknown person Satoshi Nakamoto. And this is a cryptocurrency and worldwide payment system. Even if the Ethereum, I would say that Bitcoin is the king of all the coin, but Ethereum provide many profits, many benefits and advantages and techniques for us to go with the decentralized world. And yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum also, it's a decentralized network, so it's quite similar, and it's a long-term story of value. The second one is that with the Bitcoin, we only need one account that store and the fund and related to the cost, and the consensus algorithm to verify and the transaction and to mine a new block is also a proof of work. The mining reward of Bitcoin is to 12.5 Bitcoin per block, and this reward costs every 210,000 blocks. The transaction phase is very optional, and the chances code is based on the side. Actually, about Bitcoin, we only have totally 21 million Bitcoins, and now we just have around 3 million left. So try to mine Bitcoin now, yes. And about it to Ethereum, we needed two accounts, one host for fund of user and other store on the code. And at this time, the Ethereum is still using the proof of work consensus, but still soon will move to the proof of stake. As they are planning to do that. Yeah, and I will talk about the proof of work and proof of stake in the next slide. Yeah. Actually, the a mining reward of Ethereum is around 5 Ethereum per block, and the chances code also based on the operation of operation and storage. This is a different thing. Another different thing is that the Ethereum require a lot of fees and gas for any activities. Okay, so maybe we need to remind a little bit about the proof of work and proof of stake so everyone can understand it. Yes, for example, the proof of work. What is proof of work mean? The proof of work means that the node in the network, for example, in the Bitcoin and in the Ethereum network, every node will try to use their capacity, for example, CPU, GPU, to solve a mathematical problem. So to solve that problem is not easy, definitely not easy, and it requires a lot of power and capacity or memorize any kind of resource, hardware resources to solve that problem. So which node is the fastest? It will show the block and receive the incentive. It means they receive the coin. As you can see, that the probability of mining block is determined by how much computational work is done by the miner. The miner here, which is the fastest, will be receive the incentive. Yeah, but it requires a lot of computation capacity. And you can see a reward is given to the first miner to solve the cryptographic puzzle of each block. And network miner compete with one another using computational power. The mining communities tend to become more centralized over time. So do you understand? Do you understand that point? Which miner, the miner with the more capacity and more computational resources can find and mine a new block faster, the slower one. Yes, so do you understand why many people claim that the Bitcoin, if to mine the Bitcoin, the electricity bill will be higher than the amount of coin we earn. Yeah, so if you want to mine the Bitcoin, so we need to care about the electricity bill we need to pay for my coin. And about the proof of stake, it's a little bit different. For the proof of work, we consider about the computational resource. But for Ethereum, we consider about the stake. It means that if in your balance you have more money, so the chance you mine a new block is higher than the poor one. It means if the rich, you can mine a new block faster than the poor one. Yeah. And you can see here the probability of validating a new block is determined by how large of a stake person holds and how coins coins they possess. It means if you have more coins, the chance you get a new more coin is higher than if you are poor. Yeah, it's a rule, I think so. And the validator don't receive a block reward, instead they collect network fees as the real reward. And the proof of stake system can be much more cost and energy efficient than proof of work system, but are less proven. So for example, if they are proof of stake, there are some advantages. For example, it's not waste a lot of energies of the miner, but their problem is that if they have many coins, so it means you can dominate the network. Yeah, so this is a big problem with the proof of stake. If you have more coin and everything in your hand, so I'm not sure they will move. We don't know exactly what is happened with the proof of stake, but at this time, most of the blockchain platform running the proof of work, and that is the key. And another problem maybe there's a lot of consensus algorithm. For example, proof of work, proof of stake, proof of authority, PBFT, or and so on. So maybe we need a different video to talk about the consensus algorithm. Yes, and the number of transactions in the blockchain per day is 290,000 transactions per day, and totally block in the Bitcoin is now over 600,000. And the block size limit is from 1 megabyte to 8 megabyte to our block. And for Ethereum, the number of transactions in blockchain per day this number is count until today is around 1.336 million transactions per day. I don't know, but you can see that the popularity of the Ethereum is pretty high, because more platforms is done based on the Ethereum. So a lot of people use the Ethereum for develop their application. So a lot of transactions. You can see that maybe in the future the number will not 1 million, it should be 10 million and 100 million. And the number of block in blockchain is now is 7 million block now. And the block size limit is based on the gas limit, is the total overhead for operation within the block. And Ethereum block size have been continually adjusted to facilitate a healthy network through a voting process. So that is my my talk today, and in the next video I would like to present about the IOTA network, a different blockchain. So to sum up a little bit about my presence today, I hope that you understand that what is the Ethereum. Ethereum is the name of a coin, yes, and Ethereum is a decentralized platform which allows the people can develop a decentralized application and the smart contract which is provide for people the contracts with a predefined agreement. And Ethereum also running on the proof of work consensus, and the future maybe go to the proof of stake, but not now. A second point is that Ethereum blockchain provide a transparent, immutable, and decentralized network for everyone can join. And the Ethereum is used in many applications. For example, shopping, finance, banking, agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, and many of applications of Ethereum. The final point is that if Ethereum provides an ecosystem, an amazing ecosystem, and it's very easy to start with, to start learning Ethereum. For example, coding smart contract, to get in touch with Ethereum, it's very convenient. So there's nothing worried about if we want to learn about the Ethereum. Yeah. So that's it. The video is quite long now, so we can stop here and see you in next video with the IOTA. Thank you.